Hello, and welcome back to New Comic Book Day here at Comic Vantage. And today's books are released on the week of October 10th, 2018. I pick up the books today, I give them a good read, at least the ones I think are going to be interesting, and I come back and give you a spoiler-filled review, my opinions on, what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. Today's a little odd mix. We have some good books, we have some okay books, nothing terrible, which made me happy. So, first off, let's get started. Our first book today is Crowded number 3 from Image Comics. Now, if you haven't read this book or you haven't been keeping up with my reviews, you should know I really enjoy this title. So our main hero, her name is Charlie. And Charlie has what's called a Reaper campaign against her, which is a crowdsourced hitman pool. Essentially, people are all putting money in, and whoever kills her gets the cash. So we've had some little, low-life thugs coming in throughout the first 2 issues where she's hired a bodyguard named Vita trying to keep her safe. But now it looks like we have a couple of the big players on the scene coming in. First, we have this interesting woman here they keep showing. I don't believe they show her name. Here we have the name Cooper on her suitcase. We have Mr. Huffnagel on her scan into the airport. So they never really tell you who she is, but she's very silent. Seems like a total badass. We have this other gentleman here. His name is Trotter. Complete opposite. This dude is a diva. He wants to be seen, and he wants everybody to know he's there and what he's doing. So they have both of them going about their own little business in the city, trying to find Vita and Charlie. So here we have good old Charlie and Vita. These little lowlifes keep tracking them down, and we have no idea how. We have no idea why. Vita thinks Charlie's doing it by announcing their locations and things. And we don't find out until towards the end of the story that this little dog they're carrying around is microchipped, and that's how they're being tracked. But really the whole story is centering around these 2 new hitmen that are coming in. Trotter is the big party dude, and then we have Mr. Huffnagel, who is trying to get inside Vita's head. She's breaking into her apartment. She's going through her clothes. She's dressing up like her, just trying to figure out where this next step is, where it's going to take them. Really cool story. I'm having a lot of fun with it. As we all know, it has been optioned by Rebel Wilson. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or a TV show. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be good. This story's been a lot of fun. If you could hunt down the first couple issues, I would say do it. The artwork is really cool. A little on the cartoony side, but it works well with the story because it's really over the top. So, this is Crowded number 1. And I would say pick it up. It's a big thumbs up for me. I'm really enjoying the story. It's a great ride. And yeah, buy it. And next up, from Black Mask, we have Devil Within. I had no idea what to expect from this book, as I had never heard of it until this morning. And but I had to buy it. It's an issue number 1. It's from Black Mask. Everything Black Mask has put out has been a really, really good story. And this one here wasn't too bad. So we have our little heroines here, Michelle and Samantha, who've recently moved into a new house. And Samantha starts seeing things, like these crazy little premonitions of demons and herself being possessed. Really cool. I love this here. And she's like, have you been hallucinating weird Halloween-y stuff? And, she really is. So we have Michelle, who's seeing these demons. And it looks like the story takes place in the Philippines, like they bought a house out there. Really, really neat so far. I'm really enjoying this crazy, crazy story. Samantha really doesn't believe her. She's like, what is going on? Weird stuff. They wake up one morning and their house is trashed. So it seems like something really is happening here. Let's see what else we got here. Until finally, one night, all the lights go out in their house, and they have no clue what's going on. And Michelle comes back in, or when Samantha comes back in to check on Michelle, she's in full demon mode. No, I love horror stories like this, and this looks like it's going to be really interesting because it really plays in the psyche and kind of your paranoia, and it seems like they're not sure if Michelle is actually possessed or if she is going slightly crazy. So this is actually going to be kind of a neat read. I have no idea how many issues it's going to be, but knowing Black Mass, it's going to be anywhere from probably around 5 issues, I would say. Really good stuff. I would totally recommend picking this up. Or if you haven't, because, it's Black Mask. So we have Devil Within #1. Good stuff. And now, next up from Marvel Comics is Iceman #2. Now, I'm a huge Iceman fan. I've loved him for as far back as I could possibly remember. He's a great character, has a great backstory, and one of the huge in-depth relationships he has over the years has been with Emma Frost. It's kind of a love-hate sort of thing, which is really goes to the heart of this story. Emma Frost has done Bobby wrong for, I don't even know how many times, but she's also really helped him, especially to understand his own abilities. This here, she's coming to him for help because he's the only person she thinks can help him. And it really comes down to the whole family matter where she's trying to help her family. And it's kind of his weakness. Bobby Drake wants to be accepted and he wants, his own family to love him. And she comes to him because her brother is in trouble. Her brother Christian is being tormented and controlled by her evil dad. And, so they go to rescue him. And when they show up at Frost Estates, they find out her dad is actually dead. And it's not her brother that needs help. Her brother has manifested his own mutant abilities, which is very similar to hers. And he's pretty much manifested a ghost of their father that tortures him, even though he's killed his dad. So we have this whole back and forth, and she drags him into this, mind realm of happiness into Bobby's own brain. It was kind of a neat story. If you're not reading Iceman or you're not a fan of Iceman, I would say pass this up. But it's kind of cool. It seems like a lot of these have been one-shots, so you can just pick it up or you can take it or leave it. Now, what made me really excited, so let's get to the end here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look at that. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, next issue. Looks like we have a couple guest appearances. Love Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, so this made me really happy. This right here made the issue worth buying. Oh, and I forgot an appearance on Mr. Sinister. Anyway, this was on the meh pile this week, so, if you like Iceman, pick it up. If not, wait until next week or next month and grab Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. So, yeah, that is Iceman #2 from Marvel Comics. And next up from Image Comics, we have Infinite Dark #1. This is a book I was looking forward to because, wow, it just seems so weird when I read the synopsis. We have the end of the universe. Like, the world, literally, everything is gone. We have our little hero here. Her name is Deva Carell. She is a security officer aboard a space station called the Orpheus. Apparently, the Orpheus here is the last thing in the known universe. It was built to save the human race while the universe was collapsing. This is the only thing out there. The Orpheus and infinite blackness. There is nothing else. Hence the name, Infinite Dark. So this space station was built to hold about 15,000 people was its maximum capacity. And it only was able to save 2,000. So she said she's dealing with like the ultimate survivor's guilt right now. The entire human population is wiped out and been dwindled down to 2,000 people. She's a security director aboard the Orpheus along with 3 other directors. And just look at this panel. Look at that. There is nothing else in the background. That is so eerie and so trippy. So she said she's dealt with a few pieces of crime here and there, but nothing that's ever been violent until now. Their tech director takes someone hostage and goes missing, and they track him down in this section of the Orpheus that they call the Dark Sector because they have no power going to it. Because like I said, this place only holds 2,000 people out of the 15,000, so they keep the power off to sections they don't need, essentially rendering these parts a ghost town. So they find their tech director, and he has killed the person he has taken hostage. And he goes and he ejects himself out of the airlock. He just says, I want everybody to see. If you could see what I saw, you would be doing this as well. Totally got me hooked. Great story right here. I would recommend everyone run out and grab this because, wow, awesome cliffhanger. Really, really cool. One of the good reads this week. So there's Infinite Dark #1. Go out and pick it up. All right, and next up this week from Aftershock Comics, we have The Last Space Race, issue #1. Another book that I had no idea what to expect, but I'm really enjoying all Aftershock books. This one was kind of on the weird side, yet really kind of cool. We start off with this man just floating in space trying to tell his story of how he got here. No idea who he is. Next page, we have the strange scientist who seems to have discovered some anomaly, and he just sort of freaks out. Next panel, we come to Pigeon Space Lines, and this is Captain Sasha, who seems to be, I believe he's either the director or the CEO of Pigeon Space Lines. He's also the captain and the test pilot. And they are going through some really bad stuff. We come to find out this is just a simulation, so no big deal, right? Next up, the director of one of the Joint Chiefs of the Air Force come to him and say, we need your help. They come to him and tell him they have discovered something out in space, and he just goes insane like a kid in the candy store. I did not expect this reaction. And he's like, I know what you're going to ask. You want me to build you a spaceship? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. 2 conditions. This is a one-way trip, and he has to go. They agree. Just that enthusiasm alone left me like, okay, this is really cool. I want to find out what this crazy guy does. And that's what left me with it. Sasha the Crazy Captain. Loved it. Really good story. So I will definitely be picking up in issue number 2 on this. And yeah, that is The Last Space Race. Issue number 1 from Aftershock Comics. And next up, from DC Comics, Red Hood and the Outlaws number 27. Anybody who's been following my channel knows I absolutely love Red Hood and the Outlaws. This is an absolutely amazing title that everyone should be reading. It's one of the few that I've read consistently over the last couple of years, and every issue has been amazing. There hasn't been a dud one yet, including this one. Issue number 27. First off, I got to point out the bat logo that has been crossed out right there. Isn't that just so neat? I love that. This is cover A, and then we have this unbelievably beautiful cover B. Look at that. That thing is just gorgeous. I mean, that would be the cover right there to pick up. Just amazing. So we start off with Jason Todd. Last issue he left, or maybe that was the annual, where he left Roy Harper. Roy Harper was going to go to the rehab center. The rehab for capes, as he called it. I believe it was Sanctuary, which now we know leads to the Heroes in Crisis books that are out right now. And big spoiler if you haven't read it yet, Roy Harper is dead, which is really a huge part of this story. So Jason Todd, he's trying to find this whole group that they call themselves the... Where are you? Oh God, I lost you. Oh, the Underlife. They are the Underlife, which is a giant cabal of like all these criminals and stuff that have gotten together. So we have these truckers here who are transporting medical equipment, and he wants to figure out what's going on. We got this big dude that takes him out, and then the big guy gets knocked out by Batman himself. Good old Bruce Wayne. Last we saw these two, they were in a bad way in a huge fight, and Bruce had beat the snot out of Jason Todd, with Roy Harper saving him at the end. So you try to figure out, okay, why is Bruce here? And Jason's like, are you here to bring me back? And Bruce is like, no, take a seat. And he hands him a cup of coffee. And he comes to tell him that Roy is dead. Really? Wow. I mean, it just kind of gives you goosebumps. And they have their own little back and forth. And, you know, Jason is like, you know, I'm glad you came and told me, even after the whole you hate me thing. And Bruce is like, I've never hated you. He's like, I know you always have my 6. And look at this panel right here. Oh, man. Scott Lobdell, he just kind of rips your heart out with every episode with stuff like this through the whole thing. Now, I am missing the Dexter Soy artwork that's been consistent through this series, but this is actually still really neat. Has that kind of feel to it. Really, really loving the storyline. So, this great panel right here where you have Jason Todd, pretty much his little bit of closure where he calls Roy's cell phone and leaves him a message and says, I'm going to kick your butt for this whole dying crap. And then he proceeds to delete Roy's contact out of his phone. It's just like, seriously. Can the feels get any worse here? Beautiful story. Absolutely love this. And then we have Jason Todd wandering into a little town where he's trying to find the underlife. And he is found out as soon as he walks in, even though this place seems like Mayberry. Absolutely amazing story. This has been so good. I mean, Red Hood should be on everyone's pull list. I don't care who you are. Just go. Just put it on your list right now. Do it. And now, next up from IDW, Transformers Unicron number 5. This is issue number 5 of 6. This is the winding down of the Transformers series. Oh God, this story has been so good so far. Now, this one here, this issue, it does have a little bit of a slowdown, kind of a slow burn, but I think they're really ramping up for issue 6, which is going to be the big finale. This is the final stand on Earth. So we have everybody converging there. We have the Centaurians, we have the Visionaries, we have G.I. Joe there, we have Mask, we have the Autobots, the Decepticons. I mean, we have just, ancient Cybertronians. Everybody is showing up. Look at this. Just look at these panels. Any child of the 80s or 90s is going to absolutely love this book. And man, oh God, and Thundercracker. Thundercracker's so cool. He's got a little dog in his cockpit that he hangs out with, Buster, and talks to. Really, really cool story. Loving it. Like I said, this issue here was a little bit slower just because they have everyone converging. I mean, even look, Rom shows up. He's been a mainstay throughout the first 5 issues as well. Because this is the final stand. Unicron is on his way. They think they might have figured out a way to stop him. We find out that there is a black hole inside of him that he uses to suck in different energies from these planets. Beautiful story. So far, so amazingly good. Alex Milne artwork, absolutely insane. This guy's attention to detail on these Autobots and Decepticons is just crazy, and the amount of the little line work he crams into this is just, it blows your mind. It's so good. Like I said, I'm really getting kind of excited for issue 6, but yet it's kind of bittersweet because it's ending out the series. Really good. Oh man, look at this. I love the Beast Wars. That was such a great series. And they have the Maximals and the Predacons. Completely bad guys here. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This was a great panel that just, we had Skywarp and Starscream getting together, and then Thundercracker shows up. We got the original 3 Seekers right here. Lots of memories. And by this time, now we have Metroplex and Trypticon showing up, and they're all gearing up for one final battle against, well, first they have to take out Shockwave and his group of Maximals, and then they have to face off against Unicron. Cannot wait for that final issue, but like I said, totally bittersweet. If you are a fan of the Transformers, of G.I. Joe, of the Visionaries, Centaurians, Mask, just grab it. Grab all these books. They are so much fun. And yeah, that's it. I mean, this was one of the good reads for the week. And next up from Marvel Comics, X-23 number 5. Let me start by saying this. I hate this cover. I think it's incredibly ugly. All right, so now we get to the story. So our storyline is we have the Cuckoos who have captured Gabby, and they are trying to, well, Esme is trying to take over, kind of. She's figured out a way to put her own brain into Gabby, taking over her poor body. And we have Laura trying to stop her. Laura does have some help. We have Sophie, who Esme killed a couple issues back. And she's like, there could be only one, the whole Highlander thing. And they want to try to stop her, so they're helping. And they are recruiting the help of one of the other Cuckoo sisters named Mindy, because they are realizing she is just kind of out there. There we go. We got Esme taking over Laura. She feels like she's invincible because, Gabby is a Wolverine, and she can't feel pain, so she is a tiny little force to be reckoned with, and they're going after Cerebro. They feel once they have Cerebro, she will be unstoppable. The sisters slowly turning against her, and we even got, she has no problems killing her sisters just for the sake of, being the last one and just being in control. Because they go into the whole story where Sophie's like, yeah, she hated being one of us, and she wanted to be an individual, essentially just hated being a clone. Now the story was a little on the slow side. I feel like it ended, I don't know, a little I don't know, it was weird. I don't want to say abrupt because it has stretched out for 5 issues, but I don't know. It didn't feel like the ending it should have had. We have one fight here between Laura and Gabby, and the Cuckoos get control of Cerebro and force her out of her body. That's it. That's the way it ends. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, it's been okay up until now. Now I am looking forward to the next few issues that are coming out. It looks like a really good story arc, so I'm excited for that. And this next cover, wow, that's a cover. That's beautiful. I like that. Huge difference from the one that was on this issue, which was just kind of weird and lackluster. So anyway, this is another one of those that just kind of goes on the meh stack for the week. But that's X-23 number 5. If you're already collecting it, go ahead and pick it up. If not, wait till the next story arc. I have a feeling it's going to be a whole lot better. All right, and for the final book of the week, we have Scooby Apocalypse number 30. Now this is a book right here. I know I've told you and I've talked this up every time I review a Scooby book. You should be reading this. Everybody should be reading this book. And I have some of you out there going, well, yeah, it's Scooby. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to show you right here with one single page why I love this book. So this is not the Scooby you remember, and I have a feeling this is probably going to sell some of you on this book. Now, this whole entire story so far, it's very Daphne-centric. So, we have Daphne sitting here. Very first page. She's just sitting there in this wasteland, in this monster apocalypse, just contemplating life. And here we have her just looking very complacent. I mean, and then the next panel, we have the barrel of her gun appearing under her chin. And she goes from complacency to absolute resolve within 3 panels. And then we have her slowly pulling the trigger. If that doesn't get you to want to buy this book, I don't know what will. I mean, like I said, this is not the Scooby you've grown up with. Absolutely amazing. So this whole storyline right here so far, we have that panel, and then it kind of skips back into time. And we have Scooby-Doo being electrocuted, and all of a sudden this dude can talk like normal. He's not no ruh-roh Shaggy anymore. And they find out Scooby's an experiment here, and he has these electronic microchips in his head and makes him intelligent. And this electrical jolt really made him intelligent. A couple panels later, they finally break it to Daphne that Fred is still alive, that he was spotted out in the wastelands. And she's like, what are you talking about? Because, man, this woman has been torturing herself for the last couple issues over Fred's death. And she wants to go find him. And she's like, just try and stop me. I have backup. She brought Scrappy. Scrappy's like a mutant here. He's awesome. He's just a killer dog. And they go out and venture into the wasteland to find Fred. So she ends up at this house, and she's like, what's giving us the right to murder all these people? Because even though they're monsters now, they were people at one time. And this is where her resolution starts coming in, where she has decided she needs to go be with Fred. And then we get back to this panel from the first page. And then all of a sudden he's like, you wouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. I'm here for my bride. And it's like, wow, okay. Fred made his appearance. He was showing up the last couple issues, and now we're like, okay, he is not normal. He is completely turned. This is going to be a good arc. Next up, Dawn of the Fred. I cannot wait for the next few issues of this to see where this goes, because, man, Daphne's really in a weak state right now. Will she join him? Will she end up killing him? We don't know. Everyone needs to be reading this book. It is just so good. So good. And that there is Scooby Apocalypse, The Dawn of Daphne, issue number 30. So let's do a quick recap. If you can't tell, this is my read of the week right here. Scooby Apocalypse number 30. Really good. Absolutely loved it. X-23 number 5. This is on the meh stack. If you're already reading it, pick it up. If not, wait till the next arc. Also, next, we have Transformers Unicron number 5. Great read. If you're not reading it, though, you know, just hold off right now. Pick up the trade. If you are reading it, get it. And if you can, also just go back and pick up the back issues. It's 5 issues in. They are so easy to find. And then we have Red Hood, issue number 27. And this is my cover of the week. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover. Red Hood, another book everyone should be reading. Last Space Race number 1. This book seems like it is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this. If I can get my screen to come up and show you guys the cover. Okay, Last Space Race number 1. Seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to give it a couple more issues and see what happens. I'm really curious. Infinite Dark number 1. This one here really sucked me in. Crazy concept. Last of humanity floating around in absolute utter blackness. So cool. Iceman issue number 2. This was on the meh stack, which really makes me sad to say because I love Iceman as a character. So if you're not reading it, you know, like I said, these seem like to be one-shots. Pick up issue 3 though. It looks like it's going to be good. And then we have A Devil Within, number 1. Black Mask has not let me down to date as far as stories go. This seems like it's going to be a really cool psychological thriller. Having a lot of fun with that. And last but not least, Crowded number 3 from Image. This book has just been a fun ride. It's a fun read. It's got cool art. I really enjoyed it. And you can't miss because, you know, it's been optioned. So it's going to be good from here on out. Love it. All right, people. Those are my books for the week. These are my opinions. Your mileage may vary. Like always, thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. I love all my subscribers. I've gotten a lot recently, and I love all the comments, the likes, even the dislikes. Lets me know I've arrived. So anyway, keep it up, guys. Tell me what your books were the favorite this week. Leave me some comments down below, even if I didn't review them myself. You know, let me know what you liked. And to all my new subscribers, or if all my people who haven't subscribed yet, hit the little CV down in the corner. Make sure you are a subscriber. And like always, guys, thank you for watching and take it easy.